We're recording.
Holy shit, we're holy shit, we're parents. Hey guys, this is your doula Hannah. You're listening to Holy Shit, We're Parents, the podcast where I, as a birthing and early child care professional, talk about making babies, birthing babies, and trying not to lose our minds raising them with my ADHD only child husband who has never cracked a parenting book, Justin.
Hello, good evening. Hannah, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay, and I am a little excited. I'm Mimo.
Come here, kid.
There's our puppy, Gez. I'm kind of excited about this episode, and unfortunately, no, I'm getting old because I'm excited for this episode. Because we're talking about all the differences between schools. All the different kinds of schools that are available now and what they are, how they're different, how some might benefit certain types of people, maybe, I guess. I'm not exactly sure the details we're going to get into, but all I know is there's a lot more than just public and private schools.
Yeah. And I know we've talked a little bit about how you went to private school in Atlanta, so you were exposed to so much. I went to public school in the middle of nowhere in Western New York State, and there was 86 kids in my grade, and it was one school, pre-K through 12th grade, and
Yeah.
so I had very little exposure to any other type of school except for when we explored schools for my sister.
Yeah, and I also went to public schooling in Western New York as well, so I have a very
Yeah, you got to experience both.
yeah, what I look at as the top and the bottom of the barrel as far as
Right.
education goes.
Yeah. So, I mean, even just starting to dive into this when figuring things out for our son who's starting preschool at a public school this summer, there is so much, even the levels for public schools that I never thought about. And we kind of brought up in our preschools episode about how there's specialized, even elementary public schools here. There's that
Yeah.
art school near us. But there's a lot more choices, first of all, when it comes to public school alone in our area.
What I was very shocked about.
Right. And then you get into charter schools, which I had the impression of being private schools, but they're also public and free schools.
They're just public schools. They're just public schools. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
They're just public schools that you wear a uniform to?
No. They're...
I know nothing.
Yeah. So the big difference, honestly, the biggest difference is the marketing for them.
Oh.
They're put out there as this super different thing, which they are pretty different, but they're not as different as a private school. They are often mission driven. So
I was gonna say, can you elaborate on that? Mission driven.
Let me actually pull up a specific one.
They have a mission statement, a business.
Yeah, and that's their big thing, and it's typically what their curriculum is focused on, really. But then the other big difference is we have this open enrollment for public schools here where it's usually fall or winter. We did it in the fall for our son. Is how you get on the list for public school because there's so many fucking kids in our area.
Yeah.
But
there's
then
a lot of schools. A lot of kids.
Right. And so you do your open enrollment, you have a list of schools you want to go to, whatever. and it's just, okay, you're assigned based on availability
Yeah.
and address. Whereas the charter schools are more of like a lottery enrollment type thing or legacy enrollment. So if there's already siblings in that school, it's highly likely that the younger siblings can go to that school. Otherwise, you're throwing your name into a lottery and it's just like okay, we got picked this year or not. So it's
Interesting.
harder to get into them. Um, but yeah, so the mission statement thing is basically they have like a brand and brand identity.
Huh.
Um, and oh
You know,
shoot,
if this wasn't like a public school, I would be like, oh, this is like a waste of my tuition dollars. But
it's free.
yeah, that's
Right.
interesting.
It's very weird. So for example, our town classical schools, which is a K through 12 public charter school located in our town, serves more than 1,000 students. Um, and they are a tuition-free core knowledge school.
Oh.
And it defines a
Isn't-
classical education by great works, great teaching, and great character. It is renowned for its unique approach to teaching elementary students. Commonly referred to as departmentalization, elementary students directly benefit from mathematicians teaching mathematics, scientists teaching science, historians teaching history, and so on, rather than one instructor per classroom teaching all core subjects. This method constantly brings new passion, expertise, and energy to each class. So that's like their thing.
What? They just described school.
I mean, not really though, because
Yeah, really though. What are you talking about?
elementary school where I went was I had one teacher for all subjects up until a
What?
certain age. Yeah. And so like
That's weird.
we didn't start switching classrooms to go like, oh, I go to math class now,
Yeah.
not we have math now, until middle school.
What grade's that?
6th through 8th for me.
I think we started switching classes for me just like a little bit of switch in 2nd grade, and then by 3rd grade we were straight up going to different rooms to do different shit. And then I think by like 5th, 4th grade, we were like science was in the science lab, computer class was in the computer room. Like we were straight up going, like we had periods.
We didn't go to science in a science lab, I'm pretty sure, till high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting at tables, like, because it was in like this big addition. They built this huge big part of the school, and so they built this like state of the art science labs for some reason. So I was sitting in stools at like the black countered, you know, light wood
Yeah.
science labs that everybody can picture when I was in like fourth grade probably, with like access to be able, if we, I don't know if they were hooked up, but we could have turned the things and like gas could have come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they, Bunsen burners or some shit?
That's what you hook up to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I did not do well in science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been taking it since 4th grade.
Me too, but not great science, clearly. So yeah, that's the thing, is like each school has this like mission statement or brand identity, and they're like, that's our thing. So it feels like a private school, but it's still a public school. You
I
just again have to enter your name in a lottery to
can't
get
get
in.
over how much for that particular mission statement was just like, we're school and we school because we have found that the best way to school is to school.
But that's a really like common focus, is that idea of classical education with the like, we focus on these main subjects and like this is classic education, blah blah blah.
But like, do they mean classic education in how they approach it, or classic education in what they are covering?
That is not clear.
Okay.
Um,
And again, this is not a across the board all charter schools thing, or it is. That's pretty much what defines a charter school. Is it's a public school with a mission statement.
that's pretty much what I found defines a charter school. The other big difference that I noticed is that they're not a lot more like rigid in structure.
They aren't.
Are.
They are.
And their discipline models tend to be a little bit stricter in charter schools. Like they take shit a lot more seriously.
So
But
they
a big
operate more like a
con,
private school.
yeah, big con that I found compared to regular public
You just
schools,
said one,
that,
in my opinion.
and they have very limited special education resources most of the time. Like they're not prepared to handle special ed, at least in our area.
It sounds, in this particular case, pretty like fucking ass backwards. I don't know.
Kinda, yeah.
It sounds like it should be a good thing, but if you kind of sit down and let it digest for a minute and then get all of the information,
it's like, why would I want that?
well, I mean, I'm probably gonna like piss people off or whatever. It sounds kind of conservative minded, if you ask me, and it sounds like a lot of the people going there are going to have a very particular sticker with a certain man's name on it on the back of their truck.
And I don't know if it's like that across the country, but I did get that vibe just searching ours locally.
Yeah.
Because there are a few.
Okay. So you got that too. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not going to a charter school. So what's next?
No. So, there are also these things that they were called like a few different things that I think lump into the same idea. So they were called magnet schools, option schools, or innovation schools. But
Magnet schools are what I have heard of.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking magnet schools. How do those work?
Fucking magnets. How do they work? Fucking magnets. How do those work? Right?
No, every juggalo that listens was already fucking in, so you didn't need to say that.
Yeah, oh, there's definitely tons of juggalos listening to us right now.
Yo, we're not juggalos. However, I do respect juggalos and their family values. They might have a lot of bad things about them, but the little bit I do know is that when it comes to family, they're on it. They treat the kids really good at those festivals, I've heard.
Yeah, so these are basically, they're still public schools, but they're like theme-based public schools. Like,
ooh, I like that.
Yeah, like they have much more creative programming, much more flexibility as far as like schedules and what your curriculum looks like, and their staffing approaches too.
I want our kids to go to a school where it's so themed they gotta dress like they're in fucking like Hogwarts.
That would be dope.
Like, I want to be like, God damn it, we gotta buy robes again. You don't stop growing these robes.
So they do a lot of like, most of their student engagement is like through that student's interest, which is really cool.
Oh, I like that. I'm big on that.
Yeah.
Because like, let's find what you like and then let's
roll with it.
Figure out how to make everything else relate to that so it understands and so it works in your brain.
And honestly, the only con I could find with like other parents talking about it and even some like former students was that it can either overwhelm kids who maybe want more broad exposure and were just kind of put there because it was like a parent's interest and not their own. And there's like a pressure that comes with early specialization. So if you're going to this kind of school starting very early in their education, like they can feel a lot of that heavy pressure continuing through the rest of their education, because I feel like kids, and a lot of times it's because the parents will be like, well, this is what I'm doing, so this is what I have to do forever.
Oh, yeah. And I think that is a lot of parents, and I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, personally, the fear of that has really, like, kind of fucked a lot of professional aspects of my life, because I have for a very long time been afraid to like dedicate myself to something professionally for the fear of like, well, this is what I do for the rest of my life
Yeah.
now, because everything that like, we were raised on as millennials was very much like, company man driven, I feel like, like
Yeah.
find where you work and you work there and that's where you work
And
until
you're
you
very,
can't
like,
work
boxed in.
anymore, and you should
Yeah.
love it. You should appreciate them for giving you a job, and I never liked that shit.
Right. And, like, especially as a kid, your interests change.
Yeah.
And
So I
it's
think it's up
almost
to the parent to like send them to those types of schools, but be ready to not next year.
right.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Allow
mean?
for flexibility because you don't want, like, curiosity, which is what got them there in the first place, being
Yeah.
replaced by pressure.
Yeah. Or just to be stifled because like, well, I'm curious in that. Well, you already showed that you were curious in this first, so this is the only thing you're allowed to be curious about now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
this is
I
what they
do.
teach at your school because you said you like this, so we're
Yeah.
not doing that again.
Yeah. No, you said you liked soccer, so now you play soccer every year. Check out our sports episode.
Oh, what are you trying to talk in the microphone, Gizmo?
Mimo, you need to get down. Here's what the guy. For all our audio listeners, we have a special guest who you just heard chime in.
Are you honking?
Oh, thank you, sir.
Okay, can you
Our
get down, please?
our puppy Gizmo is in here. Ooh, he's
Little
just a guy.
terrier.
He's just a guy.
He is a guy. Lay on the couch, Giz. Okay, so now we're getting into private schools. So obviously traditional private schools, which it sounds like is kind of what you went to, is still around. Tuition based, smaller classes, consistent funding, values driven.
Why do they like so many of them seem to be religion based? They're like
I was just
wrapped
gonna
in a
say
religion.
most of them are religious based.
I got super lucky because I went to Mount Vernon Presbyterian School.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if like Presbyterians are just chill as fuck or if the school was just like, we're like here, but we're not like here.
I'm pretty sure Presbyterians are chill as fuck.
They are just chill as fuck? Okay, tight.
From what
Because
I've
like,
seen.
we didn't do fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, we were in there, I guess, to us, for the longest time, it was the auditorium, but to everybody who came on the weekends when we weren't there, it was the church.
Oh, shit, okay.
But it was a big, beautiful church, huge, beautiful pipe organs and shit. But it was just where we went. Like, we didn't go for mass.
Yeah.
I think we did no, I don't ever think we ever did even like a mass. I don't think we might have gone there for like prayer or something. Not mass, but like
a service.
Service,
okay.
Yeah. I was obviously raised Catholic. I don't ever think we even did that. You know what I mean? Maybe literally once, and I remember it was so weird to me because like the one thing that stands out in my head was at a Catholic mass at the end of Our Father, the priest says this little ditty.
Yeah.
But at this Presbyterian church, the people say the ditty as a part of the prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that like threw me the fuck up because
it's way
like
different.
at Catholic mass, it's more like you shut the fuck up and get talked to. And this other one, it was all like, we're all just like,
yeah, we're all part of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, from what I found, it was almost like with just a traditional private school, what you're paying for is that like predictability and environment of lower student to teacher ratios, like pretty standard structure across the board, and occasionally religion.
It's fucking no. I mean, it's at the very least classist is the main driver why people are going there. It's at the worst racist. Come on, don't fucking bullshit me.
No. I'm just gonna say we get into even more specialized private schools where I feel like that's even more the case.
Okay, for sure. But I'm just saying,
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Private education in general, like you send your child to private education, you tell yourself, oh, it's for better education. No, it's because you think they're around a better class of people because they paid more to go there, and this bad group of people can't afford to do it. So Like,
Yeah.
literally, and I'm not saying we're not gonna send our kids to private schools, like, because I went to one, but I'm gonna really hope that we're gonna sit down with ourselves, and if that is something we do, it's gonna not be because of
No,
any
it's
of
gonna
those
be
reasons, you know what
because
I
like
mean?
they can't study what they want to study anywhere other than that specific school.
Exactly, and, you know, we've had grandparents express that if we
They
need
would
money
want
for
to help.
education,
Yeah.
so, you know what I mean? Like, it would never be, like, I was...
Yeah, we can't afford to be those people.
Well, no, yeah, that, first of all, but, like, I don't know, I was lucky to go to a private school, I feel like, in Atlanta.
Okay, so moving on to the more specialized private schools, Montessori schools, which a ton of parents have heard of.
Oh, yeah, I know,
They're
like...
like super, we go to Montessori schools, and it's all about the child-led learning.
These are the classist
and
people, because these are the people
yeah,
who I'm gonna, like, are probably more left-leaning. They think their shit doesn't stink. They probably drive an electric car. And, like, yo, I'm left-leaning. I'll make fun of fucking everybody. I don't give a shit.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, so very much that, but they're sending their kids here because they don't want them to be around the pores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fucking hilarious and
Well, fuck those people.
no,
Yeah.
listen, horribly ironic because Montessori schools were originally invented for low income special education families.
What do you mean? They got hijacked by wealthy, mostly white people?
Yeah.
How crazy.
What? That never happens.
Yeah.
So like the emphasis is on independence and mastery. It's best for internally motivated kids or kids who dislike constant adult direction. Shocker, it's really good for neurodivergent kids. Maybe because it was fucking created for them.
Whoa. The thing made for people with the thing helps people with the thing.
Right. The biggest challenges with the Montessori school, quality varies wildly because
Probably less regulation?
way less regulation. Not all teachers are fully
private.
trained.
Yeah.
There's like the Montessori methods that some of them learn about. Some of them are basically like glorified babysitters.
I'm thinking Mrs. Lippy from Billy Madison.
But then it like when it comes to transitioning, because Montessori schools don't go up to high school, that can be really hard transitioning to a more structured, rigid type setting because these kids have never had like set schedules or like, okay, now we do this subject. Like it's much more, what do you want to do? Then that's what we're gonna focus on. So I
do feel like you can find schools that probably cater more to that, though.
for sure. But some of it is as bad as like I was reading some accounts from former Montessori students saying that like they didn't like math, so they were never made to learn math in Montessori school. All they did was reading.
I feel like that's an extreme, though. That's probably...
There were like others talking about how poor their reading comprehension was compared to other kids their age and like had to go to special ed classes
I
for
went to
some
a private
things.
school, and I just don't read good.
Well, yeah, you're dyslexic.
Yeah, but like, so like, I don't know. I do think a lot of the negative feedback for these from people who experienced it
Yeah.
is because they did not have a good instructor.
It absolutely could have been
Because
that.
I really think this particular setup, I don't know why it's not public. You know what I mean? I don't know why states don't fund this particular approach and have this as an option. I think it could be one of the better approaches in early education. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think it's a thing to do until high school.
Yeah.
I think like having this approach for preschool,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, even maybe into first, and then transitioning out in second to something a little more structured, but still focused around their interest, going into like late elementary, early middle school, and then ready to be a little more, rigid and focused for high school.
Yeah.
And so on. I think that's a great approach.
That does sound like a great approach. And there are some places throughout the country that Montessori schools are a lot more accessible. And they are like income-based admissions and things like
that's tight.
that.
Yeah, so it takes the classes thing kind of like right out of it. Because
that's just not the case here.
my big draw to them is getting kids excited about education at an early age.
Yeah.
And using something they're already interested in is a great way to do that. So that's a part of it I like.
Yeah.
We can take a couple minutes if we got to run up and check.
Yeah,
All
looks
right.
like it.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Holy shit, we're parents.
Hey guys, welcome to the ad break. Just real quick, if you like what you've heard, or you just like Hannah or myself in general, and want to support us, feel free to follow us on Instagram at Holy Shit We're Parents. Like and follow on whatever listening platform you are enjoying the podcast on. And follow us on Patreon if you would like to financially support us without feeling like you're just giving us money. Or you can just give us money there too, I think. Either way, thank you very much for listening. And here's Hannah with the ads.
This episode is brought to you by Booby Superfoods, the real MVPs of postpartum snacks. Whether you're breastfeeding, chasing toddlers, or just need something that doesn't make you feel like garbage, Booby's got you. Get 10% off your order at boobysuperfoods.com/revive and thrive. That's BOOBIE superfoods.com/revive and thrive. Because your boobs and your sanity deserve nice things. Okay, moms, if you're still living in those crusty maternity leggings from 3 babies ago, it's time. Comfort sweats are basically the uniform for surviving parenthood. Soft, high quality, and somehow still cute even when covered in spit up. Go to comfort.com/Hannah66030 for 10% off your order. That's CMFRT.com/HANNAH66030. Because if you can't have peace and quiet, at least you can have comfy pants. Holy shit, we're parents.
And we're back.
All right. So, finishing up Montessori, moving on to...
You guys might see a lot of content with me in this outfit because while Hannah was up doing stuff, I was down here. I'd be content.
Waldorf schools, which I had not heard of before I started looking into stuff. Actually, when I got pregnant with our son. And only recently,
why do I know all of these,
into? Because you grew up in Atlanta. And I grew up in Bumfuck. So, Waldorf schools are...
Well, first, I guess, first tip for education is don't raise your kids in bumfuck.
Yeah, right? Don't. Developmentally paced academics with a heavy emphasis on art, storytelling, and movement. There are
I like those things.
Strong rhythms and routines, not rigid structures.
I like those things.
And it's minimal screens early on. A lot of the ones I found focus on having as much time outside as possible as part of the curriculum. It's best for imaginative kids, sensitive nervous systems, and families aligned with a slower paced education.
What does that mean? Families aligned with a slower paced education system. That sounds like one of those really good sentences, but it's like, what do you mean?
So, as a...
Did you write that?
Highly academic kid, I would have been frustrated with this type of approach.
Okay.
Because I was very much okay, mastered that, what's next? Mastered that, what's next? Mastered that, what's next?
But this is more like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, and can you really ever master everything? Let's take a look at it from a different aspect.
Ooh. See, I like the sound of stuff, but I don't know if my ADHD brain would have excelled with this personally.
Yeah.
So I'd have been
I need to move on.
Yeah, I can master that thing because I did.
And I don't know that that's exactly what they say,
Okay.
but like that's what my brain
Or I'd be
does.
like, no, I can't master that thing because
Yeah.
it's dumb, and anybody who
I'm
can
done
is
with it.
dumb. Yeah. Anything I can't do is dumb. People that do it are dumb. That's what I thought.
There's a lot of like deeply philosophical approaches to Waldorf education. It gets into like very heady things, which usually I like.
Yeah, we got fucking heady ass shirt on, I think. Feeling heady as fuck.
Right. But I guess it's one of those things that like if you visit a Waldorf school and meet the teachers, you're probably gonna know right away from like the vibe check if it's where you want your kids to go or not. And again, as a highly academic student, I would have hated this.
See, that's a shame that there's not like, maybe there are, but like, you know, we roll with you, Waldorfs.
And I mean,
Like,
is...
hey, let's chill in this. But oh, okay, word, you're not chilling in this. Well, let's start something else then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean it is kind of like that.
Okay, that's tight.
I would say not as much as Montessori schools are. But they're like a lot more focused on developing the whole child, which is really good. So it's not just intellectual development, but artistic development and practical development. And they use a lot of imaginative play as education instead of getting into like formal technology use and standardized testing and all of that early on, like public schools do.
I like what? Because like the first thing my brain thought was just like, so guys, how do you think you did? And the class would be like, I don't know, pretty good. And the teacher's like, all right.
All right, cool.
So like B plus sound good to you guys? And they're like, yeah.
I don't even know if they give grades like that.
Oh.
Like it's very not
like what'd you get on your
intellectual focus.
My report card says fucking chill. Yeah. So that's pretty dope.
Like they Waldorf schools have a really strong emphasis on like music and drama and painting and gardening and crafts and storytelling.
I just thought of a story. Can I tell it? It's education related. It's about report cards.
Okay.
I don't know if I've told it on the podcast.
Okay.
Maybe you know it. About how I was gonna say several years in high school, but I think every year in high school, me and my friends would like scan our report cards and then like change the grades in them and then reprint them out.
Kids really did that?
Yeah, we did it.
That's funny.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like this sounds really awesome for some kids, but as someone who needed to be constantly challenged academically in order to like enjoy school, I would have hated this.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I need an A. Put an A somewhere for me that I did good at this.
But would you have if you'd never known that?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the question.
But I think probably...
If I never said anything, would you have still broken the vase?
I
don't think Hannah's ever seen The Matrix.
No, I haven't.
Oh my god. Well, that's what that was a reference to.
Gotcha.
Was the Oracle talking to Neo. She says, don't worry about the vase. It turns around, and that's when he bumps the table and knocks it down and it breaks. So the question is, had she not said that, would it ever have broken?
Gotcha.
Childs or childing?
Yes.
Our ma'am is ma'am and hard.
She's having a night. Oh, she is on top of her brother now.
Oh, okie dokie. Well, this is going to be a weird cut. It'll just be me saying this stuff, and then we'll cut to Hannah being back. Wow, that took a long time to get her back to sleep.
Yeah, 2 days later, we're going to finish up talking about schools.
What the hell were we talking about?
So we finished with the Waldorf schools, which were the ones that I said I would not have done well in. because I needed to be constantly like academically challenged. And those were the ones that were more like arts, drama, explore your imagination, not super
Okay.
academic focused. Um, I did add a little bit about like micro schools and alternative schools because we've got a few of those in our area too.
Okay, like a small school for
So they're two
small.
different things. Alternative schools are for kids that just like don't do well in traditional school settings. Most of them that I found were high schools. Um,
Um.
like there's
Okay.
one not far from our house.
Would this be like the high school that took place during the week in the place that I had like Sunday school where like kids who got kicked out of our high school went to?
It can be, or like there's one in the town north of
Because
us.
like those rooms had couches in them. Like all the classrooms had like couches and shit, like
Yeah.
chill zone. Like there was no desks like in a row and shit. Set up.
Yeah, so a lot of those are alternative schools are for kids who have been suspended too many times
Yeah.
or whatever from regular schools. Or on the flip side, so I guess like for like the bad kids.
Yeah, where kids go who are like me but not handsome and charismatic. That's what you did.
So they get in trouble more.
Yeah.
Yes. Or there's also alternative schools. Like I said, there's one in the town north of us that's for the kids who like didn't fit in or were bullied heavily in traditional schools and have like
Actually, given the we went to high school early 2000s, so like early in I think maybe not kids coming out in high school, but definitely it felt like all of a sudden there was this negative connotation with being gay.
Yeah.
So I definitely remember a couple kids who ended up getting, not by me, that was never something I bullied people for, but I bullied people.
But not for that.
Not for being
right.
gay, just for being like, I don't know, different than me. But not gay. And they would go to those schools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for their own mental well-being.
I was gonna
like,
say,
hey, we want a safe place for you
safety,
to like feel like you can A, be yourself, and then B, also still get the education.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I guess socializing too, because otherwise it's, we'll just homeschool. And it's like, well, no, you're missing out on some stuff. I get it, but yeah.
And they're very much like these smaller schools.
I hope what I just said wasn't like super.
No,
rude.
it's fine.
Okay.
They have a more personalized pacing. They're a lot more like individual focused. They're a pretty cool option. And then I'm glad you brought up homeschooling because micro schools are basically, from my understanding, like groups of kids doing homeschooling under like a former teacher or something. Not large groups, very small groups of like homeschool kids learning together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen situations where like a group of parents or something will get together and they'll like rotate.
Yeah.
So they'll actually will have like feeling like semesters or things like that.
So those are awesome. They're community led, like you just mentioned. Super flexible scheduling and learning, a more social version of homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
And the alternative schools are really good because a lot of them are much more like trauma informed than traditional schools because like
that's kind of
with the kids that are
for.
acting out that go there probably have something else going on, or the kids that have been bullied that go there, or for whatever reason didn't align with traditional schooling. It's typically from some sort of something based in trauma.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, but this is kind of more, I guess, my podcast thing, like trauma informs a lot more of who we are and how we act and how we move than we think.
Right. And honestly, the only real con that I found is the limited availability. It's just a lot harder to find these schools. They're not in every city. And so that does also make them harder to get into when you need them because there's only so much space.
Yeah.
Micro schools actually became a lot more popular after the pandemic.
Oh, I bet.
Because a lot of parents were like, well, I don't want to send my kid back to school, but I don't want them to never be around their peers ever either.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't it weird though that like, all right, maybe they'll get shot. I'm fine with that. But I don't know, germs.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't fuck around when it came to COVID, and I'm not an anti anythinger when it comes to that shit. But it's just like, I don't know.
That's what it took to get parents to not trust
weird?
public schools. This has really drastically changed since you and I were kids as well.
What, homeschooling?
Yeah.
Dude, just with what we've recently gotten into with our son with like ABC Mouse, homeboy's already like has access to more education in our house than I did, like all the way through, I feel like second grade in schools. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine how homeschooling has like.
And yeah, I feel like when we were kids.
Hopefully everybody who homeschools believes in evolution.
When we were kids, homeschooling was like a big deal, and you were like very othered if you were homeschooled. And
again,
that's not the case anymore.
I think the pandemic again played a big role in that. Yeah.
But like there's still core subject requirements.
Well, I guess because everybody was homeschooled.
Right.
So it stopped being weird because all kids who were alive through the pandemic were homeschooled for 2 years.
That's true. There's like different, I don't think there's as much standardized testing, but there's more like progress testing or like portfolios students can present to the state to be like, hey, look, we're keeping up on things even though we're doing our own schedule or whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool because it can be more interest-led learning. Obviously, your parent or guardian, I guess, well,
he wants to jump in the ball pit so bad.
So bad.
Someone to fuck this shit up.
Is in charge of your field trips, which is super dope to think about, like being a parent in charge of taking your kid on a field trip wherever the hell you want.
I mean, but unfortunately, I think it's cool. You think it's cool. I don't think a lot of parents do because unfortunately, I think a lot of parents are still like in that thank God summer's over mindset.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate seeing those
glad
fucking
the kids
posts.
Are leaving. And I'm just like,
do you know how hard it is?
Hang out with your kids.
I had to stop commenting on them. I would talk shit to people. I'd be like, it seems like you don't like being a parent. Because honestly, that's
You're
what this
still
post.
Bullying people.
yeah. But never about being gay.
It's true.
Or trans, ever. I don't don't fuck with that. Like I will never be rude to somebody about that.
Yeah.
But be rude to people if they're bitching about being a fucking parent.
Yeah.
This is the greatest gift you've ever gotten in your whole life. Apparently, until you're a grandparent, because I've heard that is the only thing that tops it. Which I understand because it's like the thing you made a thing and you get to love them both at the same time.
I saw a meme the other day that I sent to my mom that was like, I thought I was my mom's, like, or I thought I was like a gift from God to my mother, but it turns out I was just the beta test. So homeschooling is best for kids who need more flexibility, who learn deeply through their interests, and parents who can manage like regulation and co-regulation and staying on top of things. You have to be at least somewhat organized to be a good homeschooling parent.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, at least with your time.
Yeah. If you're already overwhelmed, overworked, overstimulated, homeschooling's probably not for you as a parent.
I'm curious. Yeah.
And like kids who crave more structure, especially like peer-based structure. So like I need to be in a classroom with my friends in order to learn. Like that's what motivates. Homeschooling's not for those kids.
Yeah, I would not have been good. I mean, we have a goddamn full professional gym in our garage and I physically could not work out in there the other day when we were not going places for like the ice protest.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I need to be at the gym. I need to be around people. It's
Right.
like there's an extra layer of accountability that is there.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I
that's
mean?
how it is for a lot of people.
And especially when it's like mom or dad, it's like, you know, like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we don't really
We don't
need to
really
do-
need
we
to
don't
do this
need to
right
do
now.
math today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there are hybrid homeschool programs, I'm sure all over, but the ones I was looking at were in Colorado. And actually, we have a friend who did this with at least one of her kids. So it's like part-time in person, and they'll go to a classroom like 2 or 3 days a week, and then the rest of their schooling is done at home. And that's how they get like socialization and a little bit more structure.
See, I
And
don't know how
also
I
have
feel about that.
access to like a school library and like school PE and things like that.
You're also like definitely opening your kid up to a situation to be extremely othered by the kids who aren't going through
So
that.
it's with other homeschool kids.
Oh,
It's like, you know, this specific setting is for kids that homeschool to come here and be together.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. I thought you meant just like they
They don't just like pop into a regular
Yeah, okay,
classroom.
that's what I
No.
thought you meant. I was like,
'Cause-
that sounds horrible for
Yeah,
the kids.
and that would be way harder to like stay on track with and everything.
Well, and just like, yeah, be like, wait a minute, you don't got to be here tomorrow? Like, what the fuck?
Right. So those are great because they're like a nice balance of freedom and support from outside of your home. And then with homeschooling, there's all the online options now too, which you can do for free in Colorado.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
just get like a certified state like diploma if
Yeah.
it's high school and shit.
Yeah.
It's not even like a GED. It's like straight up.
It's a straight up diploma.
Which I don't even think that's one of the funniest things was like how much importance was put on like
Oh my God, I know.
the style and type of degree you got, and literally nobody could fucking care less.
Right.
I've been telling people I graduated from a school that I've not for how long? Almost 20 years.
Right.
So nobody's ever called me out on it. How are they gonna check?
No, like my resume shows that I went to 6 different colleges. It doesn't say I didn't finish 6 different colleges. It says I studied at 6 different colleges and 6 different degree programs.
Yeah.
But we also have a friend who did this. She actually pulled her kid from a classical school and switched to online, and her kid is so much happier, and they get to do fun shit together because their kid can work at their own pace, get their schoolwork done early, and go fuck off and do whatever they want.
Yeah, or like go learn something else.
Right.
Because that's the one thing that I feel that is extremely good for is like there's a lot more shit in life to learn than math, science, and history and shit, which is extremely important, especially like history, I think is extremely important to learn. But there's a lot more stuff that I think kids would do good being exposed to as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
And honestly, the biggest con I found for this can be like screen fatigue or like screen effects on your eyes, like physically, like needing glasses and shit because of it. But if you're taking breaks and stuff, like you're fine.
And I don't know, like maybe I just had super eyes. Maybe I'm just like a lucky freak. But like as an only child who lived in a big city, like the TV was my best friend. I stared at screens so much. I know they were worse.
Were they?
I think so, because it went from saying don't sit so close to the TV because it's bad for your eyes to now they put fucking VR sets like inches from your eyeballs.
But you weren't trying to constantly read on a TV screen. Like that's the big difference. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like my eyes deteriorated very quickly when I switched to a corporate setting job and like was in front of a computer screen all day trying to read.
Those got blue block in them.
These ones?
Yeah. Well,
but they are bifocals.
This thing I know negatively affects me that I don't do anything
my
about.
bifocals.
And I don't do anything for.
But they're great for Teacher-supported, parent-led learning,
Mhm.
super flexible. Also really good for kids with high medical or neurodivergent needs. Yeah. So, I mean,
You're gonna have to give a recap because
I
for me
am,
it's been 2
yeah.
days. Okay, tight. I know for
We
everybody else
talked
it
through a
has.
bunch of different styles of schools. We talked about who is good for
What styles?
what.
What were the schools?
All right, we talked about public schools, magnet schools,
Oh
charter
yeah.
schools,
Okay, good.
Montessori schools, Waldorf schools.
I'm totally using that as our ad. The magnet schools one. I'll use that.
But like, don't put too much pressure on yourself as a parent when trying to decide like where should my kid go to school? How do I pick a preschool? How do I pick this? Like, you can change your mind, first of all. You can always change your mind about everything. And sometimes it's trial and error, and that's okay. Like, figure out what works for your kid, what makes them feel emotionally safe. Are mistakes normalized? Is curiosity encouraged? Does it fit your family rhythm? Like, if you don't have a traditional 9 to 5 job and want to be able to hang out with your kid during the day, don't send them to a traditional school.
Yeah.
Um,
And as far as like moving your kid from one school to another, I actually do have a kind of a personal-ish anecdote.
yeah,
From one of my clients who's what is it, sophomore in high school, junior in high school. Um, Obviously I've been working with him for a few years now, so I've been working with him since he was still in middle school. And
yeah,
I remember when he changed over from one middle school to a more focused middle school, and not all of
yeah,
his friends went. And it was something that he was like a little bummed about, but kids nowadays have this ability to stay connected with each other that even as millennials, we
we
don't
didn't
fully
have,
grasp.
yeah,
Even like we understand, but to them, it's just so much, it just is. You know what I
yeah,
mean? We had to grow up and wait for AIM and then
right,
wait for texting. And then, we got BBM. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like they didn't have to do all that. It just is
it's
their
already
life.
there,
So to
right,
them, like staying in contact with people who aren't at like directly in their vicinity is way easier. And I think that's something that parents might get hung up about of like,
yeah,
well, they've already made friends and it's like dope. Guess what? They're not gonna know those people for their whole lives anyways,
right,
hopefully. You know what I mean? Hopefully your kids grow and expand and do so much that the people they know when they're 5 are not their best friends when they're
right.
45. Yeah.
Well, and also, cool. So they have the skills to make new friends.
Yeah.
Sets them up for life. And like, for some reason, some parents in some of the groups I saw, it seemed like got defensive about like being afraid for their child to switch schools, but like allowing your child to change schools if they're having trouble is like good responsive parenting.
I mean,
And
yeah,
forcing them to stay somewhere that they're being bullied or they're
right?
not learning well, like that's what's causing harm.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, as somebody who was a bully because like I was bullied, like it's not a good thing to leave your kids. Like it's not going to make them better. It's not going to build character
It's not gonna
to
toughen them up and all that
exactly.
dumb
It's
shit.
going to make them angry. It's going to potentially make them just as bitter as the people who are bullying them, like it did to me. And if they know there's an alternative, it's going to make them resentful towards you for not doing that alternative.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, if it's so clear to your child, why isn't it clear to you? You know what I
Right.
mean? So at the very least, they'll resent you. At worst, they're gonna think you're a fucking moron.
Exactly.
Like the solution is right here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would like the key takeaways for parents to be that no perfect school exists. The best one that you find is the one that supports your child, their nervous system, and your family's capacity right now. Kids are super fucking adaptable. Like, they're going to be fine with change.
And honestly, adaptability should be one of the most important things you're concerned about teaching your kids.
Yeah, that's a super important skill.
Yeah.
And as parents, you're allowed to course correct. So if you make a wrong decision with what you pick for your kid, show them that it's okay to change your mind and make a new decision.
Yeah, like maybe there is a school that's more focused on their, the future you want them to have, and they go there, but it turns out being around their friends actually helped them more. Send them back to
Right.
the old fucking school. Easy, done.
Exactly.
I think, again, people try to make this a really big fucking thing when
Yeah.
if you just remember, like, your kids are just teeny little humans and just treat them like humans, and then we'll all be better humans.
Uh-huh. So that's all I had for look at all these fucking schools there are now.
Cool. I think that'll be a long one in case I can cut a lot out of the other one.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right.
thanks for hanging with us. Check us out on Patreon at Holy Shit We're Parents.
We're not really doing anything with that lately, are we?
Not really.
No. But if you want to give us money, we'll start doing stuff there.
For sure we will.
Yeah, but I mean, more importantly, like and follow here wherever you're listening. Send it to a friend. And check us out on Instagram at Holy Shit We're Parents. I'm at Daddy Muscles.
I'm at your doula Hannah. And if you have any experience at any of the other schools we described that we didn't go to, leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Holy shit, we're parents.